You don't have a money problem. If you did, one bigger paycheck would fix it. But you've seen it. People earn more and still feel broke. So the real threat is this. 10 years from now, you can be working harder, earning more, and still feeling unsafe. In a minute, I'll give you one question that shuts the leak without willpower. It's a single line you can use before any purchase, any yes, any decision, and it will expose the real enemy. Picture a normal night. You open your banking app. The numbers aren't terrible, yet your chest tightens anyway. You scroll like the answer is hidden in the screen. Here's the trap. You think money is math, but money is mood. Money is what you do when you're stressed, ashamed, bored, or trying to feel powerful for 5 minutes. Money follows your nervous system. That's why the same person can get a raise and still stay anxious. They didn't upgrade their income. They upgraded their ability to avoid discomfort. Now watch the hidden game. Scene 1. You have a rough day. A meeting drains you. A message hits the wrong nerve. You don't want to sit with the feeling, so you reward yourself. A delivery, a gadget, a new subscription. You're not buying the thing. You're buying a softer nervous system. Scene 2. You feel behind. You see someone's vacation photo. You pretend it doesn't matter. Then you spend to erase the feeling of being less. Not because you're jealous, because your brain hates the taste of inferiority. Scene 3. Payday arrives. For 1 hour, you feel in control. Then you start fixing your life with your cart. New clothes, new tools, new plans. 3 days later, the excitement fades, but the payment stays. Most people miss this. Spending is often a negotiation with pain. If you don't know how to sit with discomfort, you will pay to escape it. So the real problem isn't money, it's emotional self-control. It's the ability to stay steady when your mind starts shouting. Jung had a blunt way to say it. The parts of you you don't manage will manage you. If you avoid your stress, it becomes your hidden spender. If you avoid your shame, it becomes your hidden debt. Nothing mystical, just unseen forces driving visible choices. There are 3 signs this is your pattern. First sign, your spending spikes after stress. Not one big mistake, many small exits. Your bank statement becomes a diary of your moods. Second sign, you avoid awkward conversations that would increase your income. A raise, a rate, a boundary. You would rather stay underpaid than risk rejection. You call it being humble, but it's fear wearing good manners. Third sign, you stay busy instead of building. You work and scroll. You plan and restart. But you avoid the boring actions that compound. Learning a skill, improving a product, selling, asking, tracking. Busy feels safe. Building feels exposed. Now, a quick test. When you think about money, what do you want most? Freedom or relief? Freedom is a plan. Relief is a drug. Relief makes you feel okay right now, then steals tomorrow. Here's the first loop to close. You might be thinking, so what do I do when the urge hits? You don't fight it. You don't shame yourself. You name it. When the urge rises, say this quietly, "This is my nervous system shopping." Money follows your nervous system. That sentence creates distance. It turns a compulsion into a signal. Now I'll give you the one question I promised. Use it before buying, before saying yes, before taking on more. Ask, is this buying relief or building freedom? You're not judging yourself. You're choosing a direction. Now watch what happens when you apply it. Example 1. You're about to impulse buy online. You ask the question. If it's relief, you delay. 10 minutes. That's it. Most urges die in 10 minutes when you don't feed them. Example 2. Someone invites you to an expensive plan. You ask the question. If saying yes is relief, you choose a calmer option. Not this week. Let's keep it simple. If they respect you, good. If they pressure you, you just learned what the friendship costs. Example 3. You feel underpaid. You ask the question. Relief says, don't make waves. Freedom says, name your value. So you book one talk. You say, here's what I deliver. Here's my rate. No apology, no long story. This is where they lose. Life loses the ability to control you through your feelings, because your feelings stop controlling your money. Now, a small tactic that makes this automatic. Add friction. Remove saved cards. Delete the shopping apps for 7 days. Turn off one click. You're not becoming strict. You're making relief take effort, so freedom has a chance to speak. And one more loop to close. Why do you keep repeating the cycle even when you know better? Because your brain confuses comfort with safety. Comfort is immediate. Safety is earned. So your next move is not a budget war. It's training your tolerance for small discomfort on purpose. Start with something small and repeatable, because your brain doesn't change from one big promise. It changes from one small proof, done daily. Here's the next loop. What do I do every day so I don't relapse? You do a 2-minute ritual at the same time each day. Not a spreadsheet, not a punishment, a touch. Open your bank app. Look at the number without judging it. Name what you feel. Tight, calm, embarrassed, numb. That single act is power, because naming turns chaos into something you can steer. Then ask one question. What would make tomorrow easier? Not richer, easier. Then do one small action immediately. Cancel one subscription. Move a tiny amount to savings. Send one message about a payment. Set one reminder. 2 minutes. Done. Discomfort is the price of freedom. Most people miss this. They only look at money when they feel brave. So money becomes a fear object. But if you touch it daily, it becomes boring. And boring is stable. Now watch what happens when pressure tries to take your steering wheel. Scene 1. A friend jokes about your cheap choice. It's playful, it's friendly, but it stings. You feel the old urge, prove yourself. So you almost upgrade, almost spend, almost perform. Stop. Listen. That urge is not you. It's a reflex. Here's the line that breaks it. I'm keeping it simple on purpose. No debate, no explanation. The right people will relax. The wrong people will push harder. Either way, you get clarity. Scene 2. A family dinner. Someone says, you work so much, enjoy life. You hear it as permission. You feel a wave of guilt for saving, like saving is selfish. Here's the trap. Guilt is expensive when you obey it. So you answer gently, I enjoy life and I'm building safety. Then you change the subject. You don't argue with guilt. You outlast it. Scene 3. Your boss piles on one more task. You feel trapped. You want to numb it later with spending. So you set one boundary now. I can do this, but not that. Simple, clean. If you can't say no with words, you'll say yes with your wallet. Scene 4. You're alone at night, scrolling. An ad hits you perfectly. You feel that little pull. This will fix me. Buying the object is easy. Facing the feeling is hard. But the feeling is what keeps charging you. So you do the 10-minute delay again. And while you wait, you ask the real question. What am I trying not to feel? Boredom? Loneliness? Shame? That answer is the real invoice. Now a second loop to close. Why do I sabotage when things start improving. Because your identity is used to struggle. When your account looks healthier, your mind whispers, "Don't get comfortable." So you create a controllable crisis. You spend. You reset. You go back to what feels familiar. Jung would call this a shadow move, a hidden part of you protecting an old identity. If you grew up around chaos, calm can feel suspicious. So you recreate chaos you can recognize. An old idea helps here. You can't control the noise outside you, but you can control your next move. Your next move is to stay present when the urge appears, instead of escaping it. 3 signs you're about to sabotage. 1. You start calling small treats deserved, like a shield against anxiety. 2. You stop tracking because you feel better now. 3. You start helping everyone else with money to avoid facing your own plan. Now watch what happens when you flip the script. You create one rule that is so simple, it's almost insulting. If you can't buy it twice, you don't buy it once. Not because you're punishing yourself, because you're protecting future you from present emotion. Then you create one safe container for guilt, a small monthly amount for fun. When it's gone, it's gone. This isn't restriction. This is peace. Here's the final tool, the one that makes everything stick. A 3-question audit. Once a week, 10 minutes. What did I buy for relief? What did I avoid because it felt awkward? What did I do that built freedom? Answer honestly, then pick one correction for next week. Not 10 changes. 1. Most people miss this. Peace is not what you feel after you spend. Peace is what you feel when you don't have to lie to yourself. Discomfort is the price of freedom. Now the final loop to close. What if I don't earn enough yet? Then your job is to stop bleeding first. Clarity creates leverage. Leverage creates options. Options create money. So the real money fix isn't a secret investment tip. It's this. You become the kind of person who can sit with discomfort without buying relief. That's how you keep what you earn. That's how you stop being controlled by moods, by people, by comparison. And the day your money stops being emotional, your life gets quiet. Not empty. Quiet. Because nothing is scarier than the moment you realize you were never broke. And you can stop without drama. You were escaping.